Hey, what's up everyone and welcome to another new video here on the channel. Now, it's been a minute since I've done a video with myself in it, so I figured I'd say hello and what's up first off. I hope everyone's doing pretty good that watches these videos. And just some small updates on the channel that I've already kind of made if you haven't noticed it already, and just a few other things to go through here as well. Now, first things first in this one, I'm gonna be doing, if you know from the title that you clicked on, so a few weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, I actually bought with my own money, and none of this is sponsored, just because I know that's a huge thing nowadays on a lot of channels is sponsorships with brands and companies. And this channel is not anywhere near that point, anyways. So whatever for that. But about a month ago, I bought some more stuff for my own finger skateboarding experience, some rails and a ramp essentially. And I'm gonna go through all the companies that I bought them from, and do a review for you guys and give my very honest and blunt, both harsh and good feedback on the companies as far as the experience, as well as the usability of the stuff, as just all that kind of stuff. Because I feel like for how much this stuff costs, and the hard thing about finger skateboarding equipment, in my opinion, is that the majority of it that's all, at least what I purchased that's made in the U.S. is like an all sales final kind of thing, which is understandable. But that's hard to gauge that from just the internet, because I found all these companies on Instagram. They're all from Instagram, from just my feed of when I post my own reels, because I post also on there besides YouTube, for my short form stuff. So that's what this video is going to be about, really quick. So there's two companies that I bought from. One of them is called LC Boards. I think they're from the U.S. I mean, at least their shipping address comes from Washington, so they at least ship from the U.S. at least. So from them, I bought originally the first thing I bought from them was, and that's been a while since I've actually had this, is this guy. So this little box that's been pretty good overall. It's got the square rail and the pipe on the other side, real wood, and then they sent me the on the bottom this portion so that it doesn't move around. Now these are already, and I've had this for a few months now, so these are already wearing down a little bit, which is kind of a bummer. It is what it is. I can just buy new ones and put them on, so not a big deal. And it does not come with those pre-installed, so it does come with them, and you put them on there. This thing overall has been solid overall. Like, I don't use it as much anymore because I kind of moved out of it into rails for the time being, at least. But against LC boards, they are US based as far as I'm aware of, and this thing has been good. It's a very light thing, as far as like just the weight of it overall, but it's better than like tech deck, plastic ramps. And I just wanted to get into more of the wooden ramps and wooden stuff as far as like boxes and ramps go, because it's a better feel usually for like when you're finger skateboarding on stuff. And then the more recent purchases I got from them as well, because I enjoyed the box that I got. The first thing I had my eye on actually was this guy. So this is the bike rack, as they call it, rail. Now it's roughly about a little less than a foot long as far as the length of it, and it's got the wide the wide feet. I don't know whatever you want to call those for that. It is a nice it has a nice weight to it. Now, the pros of this thing is that it is a very nice weight to it, and I have featured in a few of my previous videos, if you've seen those as well, overall, so that's cool as far as like the weight of it. But there's some cons to it for sure for me, and this is still LC boards. So the cons to it for me, at least from my experience, is that these are so freaking wide that it is hard when or at least for me, when I land my tricks close to the railing on this thing. So if you see it, like how wide they are, when I land my tricks on my board, or even ollie up or flip into it, I have to do it like almost like 2 inches away from the rail because of how wide this thing is. So I get the base part, so it doesn't fall over, but it's already a very low rail, which is cool for flipping and flipping out of things. That's nice. But the con for me is that because of how wide these feet are on both sides, it's very hard to. I have to like flip, I have to kind of like flip or get out of the trick, further away from the railing to make sure I can kind of get it clean, if that makes sense. So that's a con for me. I don't like that. And then the other part that I didn't even realize till after I got it started using is that since this is a curved on both sides, it's a curved rack on both sides. And again, everyone's gonna feel differently about this. This is just my experience, so take it for what you will. But I don't like the curve on each side. I don't like that. It's only because when it comes to coming off of the rail on the other, and however I'm using it, if I want to come off of it, if I'm doing any kind of board slides or anything like that, it's almost like you have to kind of go out with more speed than you got onto so basically the consistency of what your trick, if it's a board trick or a board slide, like a board slide or no slide, tail slide, whatever it might be, not really grinds of it as far as like truck grinds, but slides. Those are a little tricky to come out of on there because of the curve on there. And I mean, some people might like it because you can curve into the grind on there, which I've done before as well. But I've not used, like, I actually wanted to buy this initially first, this guy, because I thought it looked cool and I thought it'd be really really nice and usable. And then I got it and I started using it, and actually, like, I didn't even use it like for like the first few days of filming because I didn't get the use or the experience out of it that I wanted. But it was only $20, so that's the cool thing about that. And then the box, I forgot to mention the box too, I believe was 30. Is there 20 or 30? So nothing is super expensive from LC boards, and the shipping is like $10, so it's not bad at all for breaking. Like, it doesn't break the bank. As far as testing things out and trying things out. The other final one that I have from LC boards, at least, that I was surprised about, that I bought last minute when I got the railing, is this flat rail, this double flat rail. Now, again, the pros of it is that it is a flat rail, so I love the fact that you just have the edges just ending essentially. It's got a very smooth grind experience as far as just getting into it and getting out of it. So that's why I've been using it. If you watch any of my videos lately, for all my ambient stuff, that you can see it's got a lot of. I've used this primarily because it's so fun to do, like, different things. And I've actually learned probably 10 new tricks the last 2 weeks, with nollies and stuff like that, and fakies for all that stuff, because I've had this thing be so easy to use. It's nice and long, which I like a lot too, because all my previous stuff, as far as my Tech Deck Pro stuff, like this guy, like, this is what I was learning on before that railing, or both these railings, and this is way too short and it's too tall. Like, I like what it is, and it's a very heavy thing, although it has the same issue. I don't know what's up with these companies making these feet so wide, because this was even a worse impact for getting in and getting out of stuff. So it is what it is for this stuff, and this came with the picnic table, which is also too high up. Also, for a lot of things, like, I adjusted to it, but it's a process. So, but again, back to this guy. So it's nice and low. I love that. Same issue with the feet though. It's a little bit wide, so again, I have to kind of like gap into stuff or flip, or it's a lot. I need more space and that kind of thing to get into tricks. However, I love the double railing up here. I love that. So if you can see the double railing there, that's sweet. I appreciate that part of it. But same issue as far as the bike rack rail goes, as far as just getting into things and getting out of things. Or I should say, of if I land close, if I like flip out of a trick or whatever, um, you know, right next to it, I get stuck and it just ends up being like a bail, quote unquote. So it's not really fun for that. So that is, but it's cool. I use this way more than the bike railing, because it's got just an ending edge. There's no curve to it, so I use this a lot more. It's heavy as well, same kind of weight to it, as well as the bike rack rail as well. But again, the feet on this again are just, I don't know what's up with all the feet being like super wide. Maybe it's for balance, maybe it's for weight. I don't know, but that's another the negative, the con of this guy as well. But again, it's much more fun to use, and I love using it for that reason. And then I tested out. I found another company on Instagram again that was called Arc Ramps. It's a very basic website that has, like, just, I mean, they have everything, they're handmade ramps in the U.S. that take about a week to get processed and created by hand by the owner, whoever that is. And to give my honest experience, because LC boards, the rad thing about them is that everything's already made in stock, so they don't make it to order on LC boards. They just ship it, and it's usually within 1 to 2 days, and you can pay it for quicker shipping if you want. So really nice response time, and I never had an issue with them. Like, everything's come decently, speed wise for shipping, and it's been what I ordered. So it's all the basics, things that I look for as far as buying things online for that. Now, Arc Ramps, which is what I'll get into now to give just like my kind of basic history with them, is not great. I ordered a ramp with Arc Ramps, and I have featured it in some videos, but not as much as I wanted to, because of the fact of my experience has been not great with them overall. And the ramp, it's a process with that too, and I'll go through that now. So basically, so I had my eye on this ramp for probably 2-3 weeks at least, just from Instagram. I loved it. The price was pretty good. Shipping wasn't bad. Made in the U.S. and by hand, which I thought was cool. So the process of, like, and it says there is a disclaimer for that website for Arc Ramps when you buy from them. that says that it'll take at least a week, if not longer, like through the holidays and whatever. And I ordered this in October, I believe it was, of this year, and it can take up to a week or more to get, because it's handmade and it's all like made by hand and custom made, which is fun. I get that. That's respect. I get that. So ordered it, and then it took about roughly around 7 or 8 days, not including a weekend, to get it shipped, roughly. And what upset me is that I didn't have any communication from them, like any kind of like, and for me at least, I appreciate from a customer standpoint on my end. This is just me, but I appreciate just like the open communication. Like if someone that's running a small business, these are both clearly small businesses, if they, and again, I have no problem with like processing and wait times for stuff when it's made by hand or made to order, but just give me an email saying like, hey, it's ready to ship out in a few days, or it's in the process now, or we're making it now, whatever. So the communication wasn't great in my opinion from Arc Ramps as far as like just letting me know that. So I didn't really know when it would get shipped. I just knew it would be eventually. So that kind of sucked from my experience. I got it though, and then I will say this much. Initial, because it looks really rad on the website, and that's pretty much where it kind of ended. So this is what I got from Arc Ramps. I got this little kind of hubba thing, whatever, hubba ledge, and again, it's got the pros to it for me is that it does have the nice weight to it overall. So I love that for the weight of it. It is again made by hand. It is wood with a marble top to the hubba on that part, to the ledge, whatever you want to call it. And that's pretty much where the pros end for me. So I used it for a few days, and I still do, I still use it in some videos when I want to switch up the content for you guys from or away from just rail stuff over to something a little bit different. So here's the bad stuff about it, the cons, and I'm fully transparent here, with my experiences, so you guys can be aware of it. And I am gonna, for the record of it, I am gonna be putting all the links for both these companies in the description for this video, because if you do want to check them out, I don't have any like discount codes. Again, this is not sponsored or any affiliate like that. It's just my experience and what I found and what I used. But if you want to check out these companies, because they are decent companies for overall for US shipping, and I'll get to my experience overall with other companies too in a minute, because of other stuff too. But for this one, for this ramp at least, it is, so it's cool. It's because I like it because it's heavy. I like the weight part of it, so it doesn't move at all. However, so where I live in my place, I already have to have a few mats on my table to kind of cut down on the noise that finger skateboarding causes. Like if you use plastic stuff like tech deck stuff, you know how loud it is, and I didn't want to have that happen where I live, because it's already loud enough to have me tic-tacking, for roughly 20 minutes to an hour a day from how I film for you guys. So I so the rails are why I like to use the rails, because they're a lot quieter. So this ramp is the loudest ramp I've ever used so far as for the finger skateboarding part, because the bottom, this is my opinion, but because the bottom of it is empty, and maybe it's just me and all ramps are made this way, but the bottom is empty like this, so there's a big gap in there that you can see, and that, because it goes up, and and then there's a gap in there. This thing is so loud to use that I don't even want to use it, because I personally, I like to be able to film late at night sometimes, or during the day, and I don't want it to be super loud overall, just in general. But the loudness of this thing is terrible in my opinion. I hate how loud it is, because like you can hear every little bit of every little thing when you're finger skateboarding on it, and I don't know why I didn't expect that or whatever, but it's a terrible experience for that. So super loud. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably could make it quieter by putting something underneath it, as far as like like a pillow, or quieting it down, whatever it might be. I can probably do that. But overall, for how much, because it was $60 for this thing plus shipping, and that's not that bad for the expense of it all, for what it is. Like again, it's real wood, it's marble, that's cool. But I just think it would be cooler if it was a lot less loud. Now the other thing I don't like about it too is the fact that this thing, for usability, for me at least, again, everyone's different with how big your hands are and how much space you need to do this finger skateboarding stuff. But for me, the usage of it is very limited, because of how, not I want to say how small it is, but how there's not much space on it. And all I mean by that is like just the lead up to everything is not much. And so for me, what that means, or what I mean by that essentially, is that for me to get into like a trick on this thing, is I have to push it and kind of condense what I want to do with it as far as like how I use it overall. So it's just for how long I waited for it, which again was up to 10 days for it to be shipped, another like roughly week and a half to get it through the slowest post office shipping, which is it's whatever, it's okay. So I waited almost 3 weeks for it just to get it from it being made to order, and then I got it. It's super loud. The experience of it is just not great overall. So I'm keeping it because I spent the money on it, and again, it's an all sales final kind of thing. But just be aware that just I'll say this much about these kind of ramps companies is that just when you're looking at their websites for buying these things, just make sure that you're under the impression or you understand what you're buying more than I did because I just thought it would be because it's my own fault too, I guess, but because the sizing was not listed for how long and wide this thing was, and that's my problem is that the width of this area is not enough for me. Like I need a wider area overall for just a ramp for what it is. So again, the quality is great. I will say much the quality of this thing for the wood and the craftsmanship and the marble on it is solid. That's great. I love that part of it. But I don't use it much at all because of how narrow it is. Like it's hard for me to get on this thing and just do all that, and it's so loud. So I'll have to work on getting it quieted down. But I don't like the fact that I have to do that, like spend more money possibly, or add stuff to it to quiet it down. So that's kind of my experience with it overall. So again it's a good quality thing. It's made very well. It does not move at all. So all those things are great. That's cool. And but the usability of it for me at least is terrible. I don't like it using it much. I have not really. I've filmed it for a few videos for you guys, and I filmed it when I first got it, and that was about it. So unfortunately, just not the greatest experience overall with waiting for it to get shipped and receiving it, and then just when I got it, I was stoked about it for about 5 minutes, and I just kind of gave up. I was like, this is not a good experience. So, keeping it, I'll keep it because I can't return it, but I just don't like it that much. And then they offer other things as far as like rails and all these companies do too. Like both companies, LC boards and Arc ramps offer everything as far as like actual like skateboards, trucks, accessories, ramps, rails. They offer all for the kind of same thing. So that's kind of what's cool about them individually. Now, what I'm going to say this a little bit furthermore too to wrap all this up here is the fact that I initially wanted because if you go to YouTube and search for other finger skateboarding videos of other people that do it or have been doing it a lot longer than I have overall, most finger skateboarders that have more investment, I'll say, in the hobby. Overall, they really the vast majority of them use the Black River Ramps company, and I looked into their company. I know that they are, I believe, founded and made in Germany, which is rad for what it's worth. And they're kind of known as like the highest quality, best quality in the market of the world for finger skateboarding stuff. And I wanted so badly to try them out and buy ramps from them, but the annoying thing for me, again being in the U.S., is that it's like for the majority of it, the shipping cost is because it's DHL. The shipping costs from Germany to the U.S., especially now with tariffs and all that really annoying stuff, is as much as the equipment, and I can't justify that. So I would love if anyone ever from Black River Ramps is watching this video at all, and wants to hook me up with something for free, and I'll review it too. Very honestly, do that if you're from Black River Ramps, because I'd love to try out some of your equipment as far as ramps go. Because again, all I'm really using right now for my videos for you guys is these rails, because it's the best thing I have to use right now as far as for filming. I don't like to use the tech plastic stuff anymore because it's really not that good quality. And again, this guy I'm not going to be using anymore either, because, or at least for a while, because I just don't like I don't like the usability of it. It's too small for me. So that's just my experience. So again, that's my experience of everything I've bought in the last like 6 weeks overall. Some lots of good, a lot of bad, unfortunately. Just be aware when you buy from one of these companies that are making these ramps and these railings about what you're getting and what their return policy is, and all that fun stuff, because that can determine a good or bad experience. And be more aware as well, a big disclaimer on that, be more aware of their processing and shipping time and how they make their stuff too, because that's a big factor as well. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts or feelings towards any other companies that I should try out in the future, or anything that if you've got other experiences with both these companies or heard of either of them or not, Again, let me know in the comments below as well as for all that. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.